Alright, hello and welcome. Today,
Taco Bell has made a shell entirely out of fried chicken. Sounds crazy.
sorry. Alright, so today I will be doing a live reading of a Dragonlance novel. I've never read Dragonlance before, so this will be an adventure for both of us, won't it? Alright, let's see. Before I get started, I need to check a few things, like my water. Alright, guess we'll go ahead and get started. I think I'll play some music as to what am I trying to say? Give the reading some atmosphere. Don't want that. Alright. I'm such a noob at this. Whatever. Alright, so let us begin. There's a little canticle at the beginning, so I'll start with that. And some of these words are made up, so bear with me as I will likely butcher the pronunciations and or stumble as I come across these words. Anyway, hear the sage as the song descends, like heaven's rain or tears, and washes the years, the dust of many stories, from the high tale of Dragonlance. For in ages deep, past memory and word, in the first blush of the world, when the 3 moons rose from the lap of the forest, dragons terrible and great made war in this world of Krynn. Yet out of the darkness of dragons, out of our cries for light, in the blank face of the black moon soaring, and a banked light flared in Salamia, a night of truth and of power, who called down the gods themselves and forged a mighty dragon lance, piercing the soul of dragonkind, driving the shade of their wings from the brightening shores of Krynn. Thus Huma, knight of Salamnia, Lightbringer, first lancer, followed his light to the foot of the Caucasus Mountains, and the stone feet of the gods, to the crouched silence of their temple. He called down the lance makers. He took on their unspeakable power to crush the unspeakable evil, to thrust the coiling darkness back down the tunnel of the dragon's throat. Paladin, the great god of good, shone at the side of Huma, strengthening the lance of his strong right arm, and Huma, ablaze in 1,000 moons, banished the queen of darkness, banished the swarm of her shrieking hosts, back to the senseless kingdom of death, where their curses swooped upon nothing and nothing, deep below the brightening land. Thus ended the thunder of age of dreams, and began the age of might, when Istar, kingdom of light and truth, arose in the east, where minarets of white and gold spired to the sun and to the sun's glory, announcing the passing of evil. And Istar, who mothered and cradled the long summers of good, shone like a meteor in the white skies of the just. I have no idea what my levels are like for audio, so if they are amiss, I do apologize. Let me know, and I'll fix it. Anyway, yet in the fullness of sunlight, the king priest of Istar saw shadows. At night he saw the trees as things with daggers, the streams blackened and thickened under the silent moon. He searched books for the paths of Huma, for scrolls, signs, and spells, so that he, too, might summon the gods, might find their aid in his holy aims, might purge the world of sin. Then came the time of dark and death, as the gods turned from the world. A mountain of fire crashed like a comet through Ishtar. Sorry, I'll say Ishtar for now on, because it's really hard not to say. The city split like a skull in the flames. Mountains burst from the once fertile valleys. Seas poured into graves of mountains. The deserts sighed on abandoned floors of the seas. The highways of Krynn erupted and became the paths of the dead. Thus began the age of despair. The roads were tangled. The winds and the sandstorms dwelt in the husks of cities. The plains and mountains became our home. As the old gods lost their power, we called to the blank sky, and to the cold dividing gray to the ears of new gods. The sky is calm, silent, unmoving. We have yet to hear their answer. One moment as I prepare my drink. Let's see if it's too hot. I keep getting scared and psyched out. Sorry. It's like really hot. Let's see if this is a mistake. Hmm, not bad. I have some Bristol board set down on my table. I almost set my drink onto it, and that would have been bad. It would have probably put wrinkles into it and junk. Oh no, crease the page. Wow, this is awesome. I didn't look through this book before, but there are actually illustrations in it. I mean, they're not like proper art necessarily, but they're nice illustrations. Little grabs. Alright, let's continue with the old man. Tika Whalen straightened her back with a sigh, flexing her shoulders to ease her cramped muscles. She tossed the soapy bar rag into the water pail and glanced around the empty room. It was getting harder to keep up the old inn. There was a lot of love rubbed into the warm finish of the wood, but even love and tallow couldn't hide the cracks and splits in the well-used tables, or prevent a customer from sitting on an occasional splinter. The inn of the last home was not fancy, not like some she'd heard about in Haven. It was comfortable. The living tree in which it was built wrapped its ancient arms around it lovingly, like the walls and fixtures were crafted around the boughs of the tree with such care as to make it impossible to tell where nature's work left off and man's began. The bar seemed to ebb and flow, like a polished wave around the living wood that supported